special, aren't they? Champions League nights are back. Welcome along to Matchday Live, the first step on, hopefully, a journey to the final, which finishes in Istanbul on June the 10th, 2023. Tonight is Matchday 1, in the company of Abby McCarthy and Savage Dan. Abby, it does feel only like yesterday that we were in this very studio celebrating a Champions League win.
Yeah, it really does. Us celebrating and crying. Another one. We always believe, don't we? We're Chelsea Football Club. You know, that's what we do. So, yeah, excited to get the campaign up and running tonight.
Absolutely. And Dan, you were there, of course. Yep. Many Champions League nights that you've got fond memories of, I'm sure. Another one on the cards this evening?
I think so. I mean, I'm always optimistic in the Champions League. We are a giant of this competition. Every team fears us. So match day 1, I'm going to set my stall out. I believe we win it again.
Now, I do want to level out very early. You did say this the year we won it, but also I've only known you 3 years and you've told me every year that we won it.
But we should have won it last year as well, if not for, some dodgy decisions against Real Madrid.
It's very true. Have you booked the Airbnb in Istanbul already?
It's already booked.
Big enough for all of us, right? Yeah, let's go.
It's exciting, Abby, because it is a competition we've got great history and great pedigree in. But also, you look at the group that we've got, Dinamo Zagreb, Salzburg and AC Milan. It's a winnable group.
Absolutely. You'd be expecting us to top that group. Hopefully, no problems, no issues. I mean, obviously, it is the best teams in Europe, so you can't go in just being too blindly confident. But when you look at some of the other groups, definitely some groups of death, isn't there? So, yeah, I think we've definitely got a good bunch here.
Absolutely right. Out in Croatia for us this evening is, of course, the brilliant Lee Parker. Lee, good evening, mate.
A very good evening. I'm loving your confidence, guys. How are we?
Very well, mate. Very well. How are you? How is Croatia?
Really good. It's very warm here. You can tell from the noise that some of the home players are coming out because the noise from the home end is very loud, to say the least. It's an incredible ground, this, by the way, Joe. It's an older ground, but it's got so much character. It's a shame we've lost the fourth stand, but we've been promised that the atmosphere here is still going to be pretty special.
We can absolutely hear the atmosphere already starting to build. It's already getting quite noisy in there, which we're having slight difficulty hearing you, Lee, but we can get the sense of it already. So very, very quickly, mate, just the last couple of 24 hours or so that you've been in Croatia, what have you seen and how is the team looking?
Very good, actually, Joe. Very relaxed. We were here for the open training session yesterday evening. It was good for them to get a run out on the grass and just watching Thomas, the coaching staff, and then the players. Very relaxed. Really, really relaxed. But I mean, that will change. Obviously, they want to get a win on the board today, and it's an exciting team as well. We've talked about the rotation available, the players available to Thomas Tuchel, and for Aubameyang to make his debut here in the Champions League. Wow, special.
I guess that is the big news, isn't it? That Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang is fit and is ready to go. He'll wear the face mask, will he, this evening to protect his jaw?
He will indeed. He's been training in the last couple of days, Joe. He said that he's feeling comfortable. We watched him in close quarters here yesterday. Didn't seem to obstruct him at all. So the latest Chelsea player to don a protective face mask. We could virtually put a squad together, couldn't we?
I think we could. I think we could indeed. And I think there's a few of those names that have gone on to have fantastic Chelsea careers. So I'm certain if 18 months' time we're talking about Pierre in the same breath, then he's had a very good start to life as a Chelsea player. Just on that as well, Wesley Fofana makes his Champions League debut tonight.
He does indeed. How impressive was he at the weekend, by the way? I mean, he's just taken to it like a duck to water, hasn't he? And I mean, the class is evident. He's such a quality young player. Lovely guy as well. Really good guy. So humble and has just slotted straight into the squad. And that's something I know we've spoken about before, Joe. When it comes to recruitment, they just seem to get the personalities right. It's such a key part when you're coming into what Kai Havertz described a couple of days ago as such a tight dressing room. They're a very close group of players. And then to have new players just drop in and you've seen the interaction with Rich James as well off the back of him signing his new contract yesterday. And it's great to see that the bond is there both on and off the pitch.
I was going to ask you about that because, like you said, that the new players that come in and bring something a little bit different have to settle in a little bit. But then you've got a player in Kalidou Koulibaly who feels like he's been a Chelsea player for years already. He's just so comfortable, fits into the dressing room, but also such an important influence for European nights like tonight, having tasted plenty of those with Napoli.
Absolutely spot on, Joe. And I think it's something we've spoken about Thiago Silva in the past, haven't we? He has that leadership quality. He has that elite winning mentality. And he brings with such a wealth of experience. And my goodness, he's just got everything about him in this game, isn't he?
Lee, thank you so much for this evening, mate. Enjoy the game. I'm sure I'll catch up with you at some point. Thank you very much for that.
Look forward to it.
Obviously, plenty of opportunities to change players this evening. One player that has come into the side tonight is Ben Chilwell. Dan made a big impact at the weekend, of course.
Yeah, very big impact. I think we really missed him last season when he picked up that injury. Obviously, it takes a bit of time to get back to full fitness and to really get in some rhythm. But he came on and he made, all the difference, setting up a goal, scoring a goal. What more can you ask for?
He's a fantastic player, isn't he, Abby? And a great character as well. Dan's already mentioned they had a very serious injury last year. He's probably back a lot earlier than a lot of us did predict initially as well. He was in the squad towards the end of last season, but that hunger and that desire to get back in, fantastic that he's shown that in abundance and obviously involved again. Yeah,
absolutely. He's clearly got an incredible mentality. He made all the difference at the weekend. And the fact that, him and Cucurella are in competition, that breeds greatness, doesn't it? He's going to be fighting for that shirt even more so. And brilliant at the weekend, a goal and an assist. I mean, the fact that he's still recovering from that injury a little bit as well, and he's not even back to his best, so it's exciting. When him and Reece were on the flanks, we're at our best, that is for sure.
Absolutely right. I mean, we can see how statistically impressive Ben Chilwell is. This is from the weekend, 19 one goal, 1 assist and 2 aerial duels won. And I think as well, those aerial duels, I think that one of those was his own assist for his own goal, potentially.
Yeah, probably.
Did you count?
Yeah, it was,
yeah.
I mean, I don't know how we managed to do that.
Yeah.
If that was, Ronaldo or something, everyone would be going crazy. It was... I can't tell you if it was deliberate.
Let's go with it was.
Let's go with deliberate. And then a nutmeg to finish it off.
Yeah.
No, it was brilliance. And that's what, we came to expect from him last season. He was popping up with big goals and big moments all the time. And, was definitely part of why we were playing so well and why we were so feared at that point in the season.
Absolutely right. Quite a lot of people having their say online, obviously, about Ben Chilwell after the weekend. Here's a couple of our favourite ones that we saw. This is a nice one because it really shows how much of an impact he had. Against West Ham, Ben Chilwell became the 17th player to score an assist from the bench for Chelsea in the Premier League and the first defender to do so, game changer. 17th in 30 years of Premier League football. That's incredible, isn't it? That is so, so good. And this as well, only Messi could do what Chilwell did against West Ham.
That's like us getting a bit too
yeah,
hyped up tonight, isn't it? Yeah.
It's true.
I like that energy.
I like it. It was, Chile, you're the man, amazing player. You and Cuckoo in the team together are going to be massively improve each other and also take this team forward. You're the match winner for me in this game. Not easy to recover from that injury and play like that. Keep moving forward. See that, like Chilwell Senior there, speaking to him like a father to a son, doesn't he? Like, just incredible. But it is moving to see such a good player get back to it.
Yeah, exactly. He's definitely a fan favourite, isn't he? He's always smiling when he's playing, and he brings so much to the team. He loves Chelsea, which is such a big thing. But he's an amazing player. I'm just so happy that he's getting back to his best.
Absolutely right. We're now time to add another brilliant addition to our Matchday Live team. Elizabeth's going to be with us quite a lot this season. Elizabeth, we've obviously had you on the show before. Welcome back. It's lovely to see you.
Thank you so much. How's it going, guys? Happy to be back and excited for the kickoff of the Champions League as well.
Absolutely right. We were just having a little chat about Ben Chilwell, how brilliant he was at the weekend and how pleased we all are to see him back in the starting lineup this evening.
I'm so excited for Ben Chilwell. He's honestly one of my favorite players. I was gutted when he got injured, and like you guys were saying, I didn't expect to see him back so quickly, but back to this sort of level as well. The goal was just so decisive. He took it without thinking, like you're saying. I don't know if he meant to head it, but it just worked, and that's something that Ben Chilwell brings to this team is goals and assists and an attacking outlet going forward, in addition to being great defensively as well.
Abby and Dan have both already mentioned it, Elizabeth, but at our best last year when we had Ben Chilwell, his absolute best, and then Reece James on the other side, you add Marc Cucurella into that as well, you've got so many options that going forward, Chelsea have got not only players that can make a difference, but also players that can come in and make a difference as well. How important is that squad depth?
I think it's incredibly important. It's something that we saw when Chilwell got injured. We didn't have so much squad depth on that left-hand side, and you need to have rotation as well. Chelsea are playing a lot of games this season. They're in a lot of competitions, so you can't have the same players starting week in, week out. There needs to be some rotation so that they can rest and come back refreshed and ready to go for the next game. So I think that that's going to be so important. Like Abby was saying, that competition, it doesn't hurt anybody. Cucurella is going to see Chilwell got a goal and assist, and then he's going to want to make that same impression the next time that he's on the pitch. So I think that it's only going to push these players and to motivate them further.
Just a little word on Marc Cucurella, because I know you spend quite a lot of your time obviously living in Spain. What's the feeling about Marc over there? Because he's obviously a player that has a huge amount of potential and has made such a big impression on the English game in the last 2 years at Brighton and now at Chelsea. What's the sense and what's the feeling about him in Spain?
Well, right now, I don't think that he's necessarily starting in that Spanish national team, but it'll be interesting to see if that changes, because I do think playing at Chelsea that we could potentially see him getting into a starting spot. I mean, I'm a big fan of him. I really like what he's brought to the team. So hopefully I can enjoy him when Spain goes to the World Cup this year as well. Absolutely right.
I like that sense of you keep an eye on Chelsea players when they go to the World Cup, because it is important, isn't it? But Dan, that's also something we're gonna reference quite a lot this season. It's only a few months until the World Cup starts, so players want to find their peak as early as possible this year. And if you're not overworked in the first few weeks of the season, that's really important. That rotation players might actually accept a lot easier this year than perhaps other years.
Yeah, exactly. I feel like it's going to be a difficult, strange season because everything is almost bunched together. Players have to find form a lot sooner than they would usually have to find form. So, you know, being able to play regularly is good, but you don't want to burn yourself out. You don't want to be tired going into a World Cup. So rotation, especially for a club like us, is very, very important, that we have enough players, especially ones that can play in slightly varying positions. You see Cucurella, he can play on the back of the left of a back three, and he can play at wing back as well. So everybody will have one eye on the World Cup, of course, but you know, at the moment, you have to focus on the club football and do everything you can.
Absolutely right. Obviously, Marc Cucurella, one of a number of brilliant signings for Chelsea over the summer, and arguably another one that's definitely in that bracket of being a massive signing, put pen to paper this week, but he's already here.
Hey, Guppy. It's pretty good.
It was me for long, huh?
It's a great feeling, you know. I've been here my whole life, and ever since a little boy, I've always supported Chelsea, so it's great to extend here. No, the future's bright. I'm still young, you know. I'm sure I've got many years to go in my career yet. It's been hard getting to where I am. Hasn't been easy, you know. I've had many bumps in the road, and you know, obviously having to go out on loan and stuff, and you know, coming back from a lot of injuries as well. It's been hard, but I'm finally here. So let them go in.
Achievement. Did you think you'd get it so early?
No, definitely not. It's something you go your whole career, you know, trying to win. And winning it so early was obviously a great achievement, and I didn't expect to win it so young.
Winning that so young, does it make it easier or difficult to get it again? Are you still hungry and ambitious?
No, I don't think it changes how hard it is to get it again. Of course, I want to win it again. Every footballer wants to win it every year, but it's the hardest trophy in you know, club football, so it's going to be hard.
What do you think you want more now? Is it Premier League? You say is the next one that you want to?
I think, yeah, no, every trophy, you know, we play and I want to win, and there's no reason why we can't this season. You know, our team's, you know, come a long way and we're looking strong. Hey, Peter.
Congrats, bro.
Thank you, bro.
Congrats.
You saying you good? Congrats, bro. Cheers. You good? Yeah, that's for you. No, it's obviously, you know, great when new players come in. You know, we've got a number of additions to the squad to help us this season, and you know, they've all been great signings. I think it's still early days. You know, he's only been here less than a week. So yeah, I think with time, you know, we're going to get stronger and grow as a team still. Probably the most difficult was when I was about 15 or 16, and I was trying to get a pro contract. And I think me and Conor Gallagher was the last two in the team to get it. I think that was probably the hardest stage in my career so far.
Everyone.
How are you, bro? Good, mate. Yeah, I think as a kid I always wanted to play for Chelsea, and you know, making my debut is probably the second, you know, behind Champions League.
Do you ever get tired of posing, taking photos?
A little bit sometimes. I don't know, like it's easy to start working hard, you know, when you achieve something. And I think I need to keep on working hard. And yeah, take this as a good stepping stone to keep on improving and, you know, keep pushing in the right direction to where I want to get to. Yes, bro. You good? Good. Yeah, good, bro. You?
Congratulations, bro.
Thank you, bro.
This is better.
No, bro, your one's top, bro.
No. His is fresh, man. I'm not gonna lie.
Right. Yeah, no, we've come a long way with the hair. Thanks for the continued support. I'm here to stay, and I can't wait for the future and see what the future has to hold.
Love to see it. Reece James signing a new long-term contract with Chelsea Football Club earlier in the week. Big week for the family as well, Abby, because Lauren James obviously made her England debut as well.
I know, what a family, honestly. Just so talented. The first brother and sister duo to play for the England national team. Amazing. Imagine being their parents. I'm crying and I don't really know them, you know? Honestly.
He is so impressive, isn't he, Reece? And even just speaking there, you see how comfortable he is at Chelsea. And not only is he a big player for us, but it's frightening to think that he could get even better.
I know, he's still so young, isn't he? We were talking about him earlier, and it's just like he's achieved so much and he's such a brilliant player already. Probably first name on the team sheet, probably our best player, which is why this is so good, such great news about the contract. And he's still got years and years of developing. It's scary. You do not want to come up against Reece James, do you?
Absolutely not. Thankfully, we don't have to. Thankfully. Here's some reaction to that. Quite a lot of people having their say. Of course, Olivia Bazaglo, our very own. Reece James signing a long-term contract at Chelsea is the best news. Already one of the best in the world in his position and only getting better at Chelsea is where he belongs. Absolutely right. And this one as well. Reece James' new contract feels better than a new signing.
So true.
Yeah, it
proper
does.
Chelsea as well.
Really
You love to see it.
This Reece James new contract feels like as good as getting a new signing, maybe even better. Quite a lot of people echoing that, Dan. And it's really true, isn't it? This one here as well. This is the last one. Future Chelsea legend. So happy to hear he's signed a new contract. You could argue he's already a Chelsea legend because he's part of that Champions League winning team. Yeah. But I've heard quite a lot of people this week say future Chelsea captain, you know, a player that could end up on the shed wall outside. Yeah. It really is sky's the limit because he can be as good as he wants.
Yeah, all the familiar symptoms of a Chelsea captain, a Chelsea legend. Even the campaign when, you know, there was that picture when he scored against Ajax, I think it was, and there was just that big moment. He's already had huge moments. He's a nightmare for any left winger or any forward in the league because one-on-one, you will have a hard night against him. He's got a right foot that, you know, is like David Beckham's. He honestly has everything. He's so strong, and you can see even in that piece there, he's so disciplined, so focused. You know, he's not getting carried away with it. He feels very at home on that football pitch, and you can just sense it. There's like a switch that goes in his head. As soon as he crosses that white line, it's game on. And, you know, at the time when he got injured, he was probably the informed player in the league. You know, hitting top bins, right foot, left foot. It didn't matter what he touched. Everything he touched, it turned to gold.
You're absolutely right. And Elizabeth, I know that we're all biased here, and that's supposed to be the way because he's one of our own. You know, he's come through the academy. His whole family's here. They're all Chelsea. They all want to be a part of it. But Dan just made a really good point there about him being one of the most informed players in the league. This time last year, he's scoring goals against Juventus. He scored 2 at Newcastle when we needed something. You're talking about a right wing back that is the most important player to Chelsea Football Club when he's on the pitch. And I think that is a credit to him being such a young age, but also how important he can be for England as well. From a selfish point of view, I'm not too worried about that. If he plays like that for Chelsea, build the team around him here, don't worry about the rest of it. Yeah. But he could go on and win it all. Mm-hmm.
Definitely. I think that for me, taking my Chelsea cap off, I honestly do think that Reece James is probably the best right back, right wing back in the league right now, and one of the best in the world. I think he's just that good. And like Abby was saying, he's so young, so it's crazy to think about what he could potentially do because I already feel that he's such an incredible player. And one of the key things about Reece is that I feel that he gets a goal or he will produce a moment of magic when Chelsea really need it. And that's something that's so valuable to the team. So absolutely, I could see him being the starting right back, right wing back for England and going on to win the World Cup as well. I hope that he does. I mean, I'm not rooting for England in the World Cup. Sorry, guys, I'm American. But I would be happy to see Reece James win it.
It's so true, isn't it? And it's difficult to try and detach yourself because we do see it from a slightly biased point of view because he is one of our own and he is brilliant. And when he's wearing a Chelsea shirt, he does always seem to turn up. But I can't ever think, and I'm not just saying sort of Premier League or current, I can't ever think of any team in world football that when you need a moment of brilliance, the first player you look at is your right wing back.
Yeah,
but
so, I mean,
you do with Chelsea, don't you?
Yeah, it's just so unusual, isn't it? But he's such a complete footballer. We've seen him do it. He's dropped into midfield when needed. He's defensively brilliant. He can score these world-class goals that we've been talking about. He's such an iconic football player, and we're lucky to have him. The fact that he, is proper Chelsea. So when you see those photos of tiny little Reece James beaming in the academy, and the fact that he's always supported Chelsea, that just makes it extra special for me.
It really does. And there is also, you mentioned it there, but there's a bit of talk that potentially we could be a back four tonight and Reece could be playing in the middle. And I think that's a credit to Reece James that everyone's going, if that's how it is, fine.
Well, do you know what? When you first said it, I wasn't quite sure about it, but of course he can. He's a right back. He makes all the decision making. He already does it. Picking the correct passes, when to go, when to not go, and he also happens to have an absolute rocket of a shot. So the game slightly changed where teams generally try and walk the ball into the net nowadays, but he is such a threat from 30 or 35 yards that midfielders are going to have to rush out towards him, and he's going to cause chaos for the other team.
Absolutely right. I'm sure that every manager in world football would love a Reece James in their side. Thankfully, there's only one that does, and here he is. This is Thomas Tuchel.
How much are you looking forward to getting the Champions League campaign up and running?
It's always very exciting. There is no doubt about it. Once you go on the training pitch, see the Champions League ball, it's always a very exciting feeling. And from the moment of the draw, you know what's coming and you wait for it. So to start in Croatia against for sure a very emotional crowd in a very sportive country like Croatia is a big challenge, but always nice. We're happy to be in it and we're up for the challenge.
And finally, I know you're not big on milestones, but this will be your 100th game in charge for Chelsea. What does that mean to you?
Oh, it's nice. 100 is very nice. I hope there will be another 100 and another 100 coming. So I have to earn my way through it. But I'm very proud. I'm very happy to have 100. I'm never aware of it, and the wish is clear. I want the win, nothing else.
Love that. Thomas Tuchel speaking to Lee Parker ahead of this evening's trip to Dinamo Zagreb. Let's have a little chat about the Champions League group then. Elizabeth, obviously, it's a good group, with Salzburg and Dinamo Zagreb and AC Milan as well. AC Milan's probably the headline tie, but I suppose the most important thing about Dinamo Zagreb away, probably Salzburg away as well, is you get something from them because they are a little bit unknown quantities at this level.
You just don't know what to expect. And Mateo Kovacic spoke about it. He actually grew up, obviously, in Croatia, and I believe that he played for this team as well. And he said that the atmosphere is going to be absolutely incredible. So Thomas Tuchel is right. We cannot discount any team. It's going to be really hard, I think, to get the win because the fans are going to be over the moon. And really, that's a 12th man on the pitch, essentially. So it's not going to be an easy game, but I do think that Chelsea can get the win. They're going to know how important it is to get the win, especially in these away games, to hopefully top the group.
Absolutely right, and they've started their season well. Yeah. And I think they've won 6 of their 8 league games, top of the league. They are a good side. They've got players within there that have got quality. Orsic is one. I know he scored a worldie against Spurs a few years ago. They've got players, but it feels like games like today, not from a sort of a Champions League perspective, these are the sort of games you have to get out of the way. You have to get done. You have to get 3 points from and don't look back. Yeah, and they're the hardest ones, I would imagine, to get motivated for because you're expected to win them. You're expected to go away as well as home and nick 3 points of Zagreb. So the players will have to have, their wits about them, will have to be focused because they are still a Champions League team and they're in it every year. So, they're no pushovers. You're going to definitely have to work for this 3 points. So I expect the AC Milan trip to be, the one that's the most significant for the group. But I've seen groups like this go wrong, so we just have to stay focused. Yeah, there is a little bit about that, Abby, as well, because obviously the game earlier on today, the youth team game in the UEFA Youth League, finished 4-2 to Dinamo Zagreb. Very good side. Chelsea had a lot more possession, a lot more of the ball, looked very comfortable, but Zagreb took their chances very well, and it kind of feels at this level of football, games like that can go away from you, and before you know it, you're coming home, and after 2 games, you've got 1 point or something, and you've played really well. You can't be chasing the ties. You've got to make sure you get points on the board early. Yeah, you've got to come out all guns blazing, haven't you, and really make the most of all your chances, or like you say, the game can run away from you. But
especially today, I was thinking with all the travelling and it being that earlier kickoff as well, that's going to come into play. Elizabeth mentioned the atmosphere is going to be so loud. It is going to be difficult. Yes, we're going in, you know, the favourites and maybe Dynamo are underdogs, but they are not to be messed with, really, are they?
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. And just a quick one on Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, Elizabeth, as well, because this is his first Champions League appearance since 2017. Obviously, you know, we picture him as being the elite player, which we know he is, but Barcelona were in the Europa League, the tail end of this season, and when he was at Arsenal, he didn't play Champions League football either. So this is an opportunity for him to kind of show again he belongs at the very top level. He belongs on this stage, and we know he's capable of that. So it's, I suppose, a nice little test for him as well this evening.
Definitely will be, and I'm personally super excited to see how he gets on. He's somebody who is just capable of scoring a lot of goals. I think he has 10 plus goals over the last 4 or 5 seasons. And I know whenever a Chelsea player wears the mask, they tend to just have these 10 out of 10 performances. So I have big expectations from him in this game.
I'm looking forward to the fact as well. If you're absolutely right, Elizabeth, and we do think we've got quite a good record with players in masks, I reckon we just start all masking up. Just everyone.
It may as well.
If it works.
As well, yeah.
If it works, it works.
Superhero FC. If it works, it works.
If it works,
don't
it
mind.
works. Absolutely does. Right, and so still plenty of build-up coming up to Chelsea and Dinamo Zagreb. But now, Lee Parker went out a little bit earlier on for us to get a sort of grips as what Dinamo's all about.
Hello and welcome to the heart of Zagreb. It is match day here in the Croatian capital. It is very hot out here and the temperature is building ahead of tonight's Champions League Group E opener as well. The fans here, they absolutely love their football and they like strong coffee as well, which suits me. The supporters here, they're in a very confident mood. In fact, our cab driver this morning gleefully told us how he predicted Chelsea would lose tonight. They are used to winning here. They have a real winning mentality. In fact, they've won 16 of the last 17 domestic titles. So it will prove to be a stern test for Thomas Tuchel and his squad, who were in fantastic form last night at the open training session at the Maximir Stadium. If you were with us for that yesterday evening, you'd have heard that one side of that fantastic arena is actually closed off at the moment. That's due to damage caused by an earthquake a couple of years ago, so it will be a slightly reduced capacity. However, we have been assured it will be a terrific atmosphere come kick-off. The manager and his squad in a very relaxed mood, as you probably would have seen on that live stream, but that will switch tonight because the manager will certainly want to get this Champions League group stage off to a flying start with a win here in Zagreb. And what is his 100th game in charge of the Blues, and what better way to celebrate Pat Nevin's birthday as well. Happy birthday, Pat.
Yes, absolutely. We echo that as well. The brilliant Pat Nevin going to be on commentary duties a little bit later on. We've had cake in the office already. Happy birthday to Pat. Right, so this is Culture Club. Now, we did this a little bit last season, basically getting to know our opposition a little bit more through food. That's what we all do.
Food.
We go away,
any
don't we? It's the first thing you do. It's the first thing you do. And now, Elizabeth, I've not quite perfected getting food through Zoom yet, but I'll work on it.
I'm so disappointed. Oh, man.
I will work on it. So
Not okay.
Let's have a little look at what we've got then. So we've got a selection of meats here, which you can see. I think that looks a little bit sort of pepperoni-esque. Is that
chorizo, perhaps?
Chorizo, yeah, maybe a little bit chorizo. This looks like a sort of a cured ham, and then that looks a little bit bacon-esque. So Abby, I'll let you go first.
Okay. I'll go for this one.
Okay.
The sticks on it. Yeah.
Nice. We've got bread and oils as well here down. And that's
so let me go for the bread and oils.
That's a bit of you, innit? That's a bit of you, that.
I'm gonna do
That's a bit of you,
that's
bread
quite
and
nice,
oils.
actually.
Yeah. Okay.
Ruining my diet, guys.
I mean, anyone been to Croatia? Dan, you're a traveller. You love to get about, don't you?
I've not been to Croatia.
It's on my list, but yeah, I've never been either.
Okay. No. Elizabeth, have you been to Croatia?
No, it's on my list, but I have not been yet.
All right, group trip. We'll sort it.
I'll tell you what, I'm on it after this.
Let's do it.
It's not bad, that.
It's not bad at all, is it?
Yeah, it's not bad at all. I'm enjoying that.
I'll go for the bread.
Yeah, bit of bread and oil. I can't quite tip that. Pumpkin seed oil.
Is that a spicy one? I want a pumpkin seed. Okay.
Pumpkin seed, yeah.
I'd imagine this is...
I'll go for a bit of that.
Love that.
That's all right,
look at that.
Ooh, look at that.
Look at that. Lovely
It's like
glisten.
an advert for this.
Lovely glisten on it, that. Again.
Glisten.
I've missed
it
Bake Off. Bake Off starts next week,
You
unfortunately.
guys are making me hungry over here.
Yeah, this is just torture for you, isn't
really
it?
nice,
Sorry
to be
about
fair.
that.
It's really... we've got, obviously, you know, a few famous faces that we know from you've already mentioned, Elizabeth, Dinamo Zagreb in the past. Luka Modric played for them for a few years, and Nikola Tesla as well.
Yeah.
Name for some. And obviously Mateo Kovacic is probably the most famous one that we Chelsea fans would think of. And Elizabeth, I know he's spoken about that in the build-up, how nice it is for him to go home. I'm not quite sure he was on this diet, to be fair, because he's an elite athlete, and I'm not sure bread and oil's a perfect pre-match, but you never know, do you?
You never know. I mean, if he's back home, then I don't know. Maybe if we get the win, he'll be celebrating with some bread and oil, and it look like jamon or something like that.
It does. This one might be a little bit jamon-esque, you know.
Yeah.
I think it might be a little bit. Yeah, it's like a cured meat. It's really nice, to be fair. That I've got another fact for you. The very first torpedo was built in Zagreb.
Lovely.
There you go.
A bit nice for you.
Lovely.
I'm getting booked for that
just
travel
brought
show,
snacks.
mate. I'm getting booked for that travel show before you know it. I tell you what, I might have to strip my phone off just in case I get a phone call midway through. It's one of those like nights like tonight as well for fans to go out and enjoy it, Dan.
Yeah.
I know we all looked at Milan. We all looked at Milan as the first away day and go, get in, little away day in Milan. But Zagreb and then Salzburg as well, places that, unless you were going for football, might not be top of your list. But after tonight, fans that have gone out there and enjoyed it, tried a bit of the food, might go back.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, my eyes were firmly set on Istanbul at the end of the season. But Croatia is somewhere I've always wanted to be. I haven't been to Milan either, so maybe the next away day, I'll have a look at my calendar.
Yeah.
Elizabeth, have you been to Milan? Is Milan on the list?
I have not been to Milan yet. I've been to a couple of different places in Italy, but haven't been to Milan. So I'm like looking at flights to see if I can get over there for the game because it looks incredible.
Yeah, just saying, I'm happy for us all to do the show from Milan.
Yeah,
I've got
great shout.
no issues with that.
Really good shout.
Yeah.
And to be fair,
Let's do
Culture
it.
Club's got to be pizza and ice cream.
Yeah, works
and
for
I'm
me.
all about that. I'm all in. I'm all in, 100%. Right. This is the hardest part for us because this is the trivia moment. Okay.
Uh-oh.
Okay. Now I've had it in my ear, and I'm not sure he's going to stick to this, but I'm saying it on air, so now there's footage. Our producer's just told us if we get it right, he's going to pay for our trip to Milan. Now he's confident because he knows we're not going to get this one. I'm pretty sure.
Oh, it's going to be really hard, isn't it?
Liam, we heard it. Right.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Here we go then. Here's the trivia question. Elizabeth, we're going to need your help on this one as well. Who scored our first ever Champions League goal? Now I'm hoping that picture is a picture clue. Now,
Yes,
obviously, we don't give the answer
Or
until
is
half time.
is it going to throw us off?
Yeah, is that...
Is it not in that picture?
We don't find out until half time.
Indeed,
Now,
yeah.
I'm gonna. Okay, the opponents.
I think it might have been a penalty.
Okay, now again, I've just been told this is a clue, and he's again very confident because I'm not even sure that I've got the name completely right. Skonto Riga were our opponents. Okay, well, this is so. My first instinct, cards on the table. My first instinct was first season under Ranieri when we were in the Champions League proper, but this is clearly before that.
This is before that.
So this is concerned me a little bit.
I am going to go...
Save your guess till half time.
Okay.
But have you got an idea?
I've got an idea. It's going to be an outrageous one, but there's a bit of maths behind it.
Okay. Abby, have you got any ideas?
I've got an idea on, like, era, but
Okay.
I'm not sure on player. I need to sit and think about that.
Elizabeth, have you got any ideas who it might be?
I've got no idea. I'm really bad at trivia, you guys.
I'm with you there. I've got absolutely no idea so far. And again, beforehand, I was trying to go, okay, maybe it could be there. The picture's thrown me. The pictures and the opposition has thrown me.
Yeah. I've just got a headache already. But we'll do it.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I think we're going to need a little bit of help. So, a little bit earlier on, we asked some familiar faces for what they thought.
I think Frank Lampard.
So could you give me a hint as which year?
I don't know.
Let me just give a random name. Ashley Cole.
Okay.
Do you know what? Pat's going to have a better idea here. I think he's got a bit of an encyclopedic knowledge of Chelsea from that era.
That's the correct answer. I have no idea. I couldn't even come close to that.
Yeah, well, I say the same, Frank Lampard, because it's the only name now that comes to my mind, because I'm a little bit nervous. Yeah, Frank Lampard, it was him, I think.
I want to go earlier, but all of my instincts are telling me Damien Duff, so I'm going to say Damien Duff, even though I know it's probably wrong, but, you know, he probably came up trumps at some point, so let's go Damien Duff.
Well, to me, like Drogba.
No, I'm struggling. Can't think of anyone who would obviously be. Back in the midst of saying, God, I don't know, Dennis Wise.
Dennis Wise.
That was the era I was thinking about. I don't think it's Dennis Wise.
Well, Max Jones in there said Damien Duff, and to be honest, that was along the lines I was thinking initially. But now having seen the picture, which obviously we didn't give them the luxury of
Was
seeing.
that picture from the fixture?
I don't know. That might be a red herring. And to be,
yeah.
I'm being told it was, but also they have said they're going to pay for a trip to Milan, so I reckon that might be a fake image.
I think so.
Let's see it again. Let's have a little look at the image again. If this helps us out a little bit. Okay, so we'll look Chris Sutton, Gianfranco Zola, Gus Poyet.
So red card offence.
It's the qualifying round to make the Champions League, I'm being told. Frank
So
Leboeuf's down.
Yeah.
Now, again, if it was penalties, Frank Leboeuf took a lot of penalties. But
Yeah.
that was my guess.
I think Marcel Desailly's there. Okay, all right. We're gonna have to have a think about this. We'll find out at half-time, but we'll let that rumble on. We'll let that rumble on, and between us, we'll try and decide. Let's get back to this evening, Elizabeth, because my brain's frazzled, and all I can think of now is an away day in Milan. So let's try and work this out. So obviously this evening is going to be a difficult one. Like we said earlier, the UEFA Youth League game, Dinamo Zagreb came out on top on that one. So they are a team that have a huge amount of ability, not just as a youth side, but obviously the first team as well. This does feel maybe an opportunity for them as well to be the surprise package, get points on the board early. And Chelsea haven't been at their best as well recently as well.
Definitely. I think that they are going to go into this game knowing that they essentially don't have anything to lose because everybody's expecting Chelsea to win. And I do think that Chelsea, for some reason, tend to perform better as the underdogs. And when we're expected to win, it can kind of go either way. So I think that they're going to go in this game. They're going to give it their all. They have the home crowd support, and their manager said, like, in his press conference, you know, the Chelsea that we face today isn't going to be the same Chelsea that we face in November. So I think that he knows that it's an opportunity, that we have a lot of new players who come to the club who are still gelling. We're still trying to find the best formation, the best system to fit everybody. So I think that they're going to try to take advantage of that as well.
I think that's a really good point. That's a really good point because not just that, but they've played 8 league games already, Abby. So they're a few weeks ahead of us in terms of their progression into the season. And that fitness early on does make a big impact.
Yeah, absolutely. They're probably hit in the rhythm a little bit more than us. We've got a lot of new signings, as Elizabeth mentioned. You know, we've been conceding from set pieces. There's a lot of changes in our back line. I'm sure that will change. But yeah, I just think Champions League football, it's what Chelsea does. We'll bring that extra edge. We always do. We do, don't we? We do that. That's what... You don't want to rely on that comfortability, but you do also feel... This is our competition.
Yeah, I mean,
I feel at home here.
The pedigree's there, you know. We win this competition, you know. Zagreb are always there and about, but you never really see them deep in the competition. They're a little bit perhaps fitter than us right now. Maybe they're just a bit further on. 6 wins from 8. I think we've got 10 points from 6 games. So they're in better form, but we are the better team, and I think we'll have too much for them.
I hope so. I hope you're right. Elizabeth, thank you so much for joining us. You're going to be joining us all season long. Thank you very much for coming back. Lovely to see you, and we will see you very soon. Enjoy the game.
Thank you, guys. Thanks for having me. Enjoyed the game.
Hopefully we will. Hopefully
we'll
we will.
save you
Hopefully,
some snacks.
Yeah, we'll send them over. We'll send them over. We'll send them over. Abby, just carrying on from that, because it is one of those games tonight where you do feel not only are we ready for it, but we do also want to play our way into form almost. And now the team's together, you know, first real game when we've all the signings potentially available. Dennis Zakaria on the bench as well this evening. Could be another debut for us. But now it's where we start to really see what Chelsea are capable of this season.
Absolutely. And it's the start of a Champions League campaign. You, of course, want to get it off with a win, and a convincing win at that. The start of the Premier League's been very bumpy, if we're honest. But it could be different in this competition, and I think we're going to go in and give it our best shot.
Dan, is there a little bit as well? Early kick-off, one of the very first games in the tournament this season. Other teams to be watching. Is it maybe a little bit of a statement as well? Maybe.
I think a load of the teams, especially the ones from England, are struggling at the moment. I'll be honest, everyone's struggling to hit form. For us, I think winning this game is the bare minimum. It's about winning in style. It'd be lovely for Aubameyang to get a goal. We've got to win in style.
Absolutely right, yeah. And I'm sure that's exactly what we will do this evening. Full of confidence, absolutely ready for it. Thank you very much for joining us. And it's time to hand you over to our commentary team of Max Jones and happy birthday, our very own Pat Nevin.
Hey.
The road to Istanbul begins 1,500 kilometres northwest of Turkey at the Maksimir Stadium in Zagreb. It's an old arena, and even though the entire east stand is out of use due to safety concerns, the returning Mateo Kovacic has warmed